Is the part no one wants you about. Your first 60 days, either at work, a job, or project, or season, can either make or break your corporate journey. Hey, my corporate besties, welcome to the Corporate Parable, where biblical wisdom meets boardroom reality. And if this is your first time on our YouTube channel, you're definitely in the right place. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Click on your notification button so for every time we upload a video, you will be the first to get notified. I'm sure you're wondering what's happening today, but anyway, we'll get into it. So, so far we've been running on our series, Your First 60 Days, and it was just me and more around telling you this is this, follow this framework and all of that, which maybe we can classify as theory based, but now we want to see it firsthand and live in it, right? From people that have experienced it and have walked through and walked down that journey. So, and the Bible says that wisdom is profitable to direct, and in the multitude of counsel, there is safety. So, today I have a very special guest in our midst, and he has lots and lots of wisdom to pour out and feed our corporate besties. So, we're just gonna let our guest introduce himself, and before you get right into it, thank you for honoring our invitation. We're so
Yeah.
so glad to have you. It's been a long time coming, and yeah. I had to grab you very, very fast. He's a special person. If I don't grab him now, I don't know when I'm going to see him again. But yeah. So thank you for coming. Can you
Thank
please
you.
introduce
Thank
yourself?
you for having me, Gail. My name is Oladipo. I am a communications professional with over 7 years of experience, and I'm really happy to be here to also share some insights, generally around topic um, starting your career, your first 60 days, which is very crucial. Your first 60 days really determines a lot. It's basically that period where if you are quiet, you stay quiet, and determines also how people perceive you. And it's your responsibility to shape that perception within the first 60 days. So, yeah, looking forward to the conversation. And I'm hoping that it's also going to be beneficial to you out there listening, to the very, career driven person, to the person starting their career. I hope that's a beneficial session for you. Yeah, happy to be here.
Thank you. And yes, guys, my corporate besties, you're going to definitely learn a lot from
Mm-hmm.
this section. So just stay tuned as we proceed with our conversation.
Looking
Okay.
forward.
Okay, so I have questions here, but it depends on how we go with it because we might not exhaust everything. But I have questions here for Ola, and let's see how we get on. So, your first 60 days, what is one thing you wished you had known in your first 60 days that would have saved you time or stress? It could be that maybe your first 60 days when you started off, or maybe just recently, but yeah, you've had over 7 years of
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
experience, so there'll be lots of things. So just
Yeah.
mhm,
For the first 60 days, definitely also depends on which level of career
mhm,
that you are in at that moment. But for most persons, especially as a new person into the career world,
mhm,
the first 60 days, like I said, determines a lot. And one thing I wish I would have known is really identifying key stakeholders, right? Identifying the
mm,
key persons,
mhm,
the influential persons in the organization. That is very important because these are the people that are decision makers,
mhm,
right? And they
mhm,
don't necessarily have to be management per se, but just people that have a voice in the
mm,
organization. These are people
yeah.
that you typically want to identify and get close to, not because you're trying to be political, but because they would also have a lot of insights for you.
Mm,
They would easily tell you the do's and don'ts, the informal, the unwritten patterns, or the unwritten, rules in the
yeah,
organization.
yeah.
This is very key, mapping out those people, because at the end of the day, again, depends on the size of the organization. If you're looking at an organization that has, let's say, 500 staff, or let's even say 100 staff, or let's even say 50, right? You may not necessarily have the time to converse with everybody,
Mm,
right?
yeah,
So it is
that's
very
true.
important. And there's that pressure that you want to converse with everybody because you want to get to know the organization so more, as much as possible. But I think uh, it's very important that you identify the relevant persons. I mean, everybody's relevant, but there are people that are also more influential than others, right? Identifying them is very key. Within those, I mean, not even 60 days, honestly, I think within your first 2 weeks, it's very important that you identify those people and begin to engage with them, right? Because they are also people that are in different meetings that would probably, bring you into those circles, bring you into those meetings.
Yeah.
So it's good that you identify them and also show your value to them, so they see that, okay, this person that is now new to the organization also brings in some value, and they can already begin to influence. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really really
Hmm.
good, and it's funny because it falls as one of our series that we had,
Yeah.
stakeholder mapping
Okay.
101, and that particular tip is the best because you can't relate with everybody, but
No,
you need the
no.
right people and the key
Hmm.
people in
Hmm.
your corner for
Yeah.
you to be able to now either be visible or get to that stage that you want to. And like you said, first 2 weeks, it could just be as little as having coffee chats
it
or
doesn't it doesn't have to be formal, right?
yeah.
When you're building relationships with this kind of people,
Mhm.
it can be formal or informal, right?
Yeah.
Quick chats, let's grab a cup of coffee, and
Mhm.
just get to know what they're doing, get to also
Yeah.
sell yourself in a way,
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
I mean, this is also generally speaking, your first 60 days is basically your second interview,
I
right?
know,
And
right?
people are
That's true.
the only difference is now
Yeah.
more people are watching you,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, that's true.
nobody's telling you anything, right? Basically, it's just people are looking at you, analyzing you, seeing what you bring to the table, seeing if your interview was just a facade, if you're just if you
Yeah.
just jumbled it, right? So people are watching you, and it
Yeah.
is now left to you to really show them that,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm bringing so much value, this is what I do, this is what I'm
True.
doing, this is what I can do,
Mhm.
sharing insights as much as possible. Sometimes it may also feel like over communicating, but better to do more than do less, and not in a way that you're trying to be proud or boastful, because
Uh-huh.
that can also, there's also a thin
Yeah.
line between you
Yeah.
trying to over communicate. But yeah, as much as you can, tell people what you're working on, tell people what you're doing,
Mm.
share ideas. If you already see gaps, come from a place of, okay, you think that this is what you've noticed, this is what you can do to
Mm.
improve the system. Yeah.
Okay. So maybe when you started off, is that
Mhm.
something if you were to go back in time now, you would have done differently? Like like getting
Mm.
the right people in your corner, having those like teeny communications and
Mhm.
coffee chats, more like selling yourself. Um, if you were to go back in time.
Yeah, I think that's something I'll definitely do again. And the reason is because, and this is crucial for those people starting their career early, right? Because you feel like you are low on the food chain,
Mm.
you then find it difficult, or maybe don't have the confidence. Again, personality difference. There are
Yeah.
some people that are actually very confident to speak up. You find it very difficult to maybe talk to the guys on the higher level because you feel like they're way higher than you.
Yeah.
However, those are people that would also easily pick that confidence that you have, right? Just
Mm.
imagine your first career experience, entry level, and you're already speaking to somebody in management and saying, "Oh, do you want to? Do you have some like 5 minutes to just chat with you? Do you understand?" So that's also a view that they see,
Yeah.
and they see you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they feel like, okay, this person has, that guts to want to come and really relate. You see people
Yeah.
in, um, again, starting your career early, and for even over 60 days, and you have no connection with management, nobody
Mm.
really knows you because you are just with your circle of not to sound demeaning, your entry
Yeah.
level crew, right? And it's not like,
Yeah.
oh yes, because all of you are like entry level, you now have that circle of entry level and you have no communication with people.
People up
But
there.
everybody entry level literally is the same level with you, like, so you need some
True.
sort of communication with people above you, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you have to create that. And I think that's something that I would say I didn't really do, because also
Mm.
of the mindset of, oh, these guys are high up there, these guys are
Yeah.
managers,
See
I
them as
can't,
mini
you see them
gods.
like mini gods, so like you can't really speak to
Yeah.
them. You see them as just good morning sir, good morning sir, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think it's really important that you're able to break into those groups, right? Speak up as much as possible during meetings where you
Mm-hmm.
have those guys on the high level speak up. There's no pride, there's no humility in trying to always be quiet and feel like, oh, I don't want to talk, or I don't want to sound like I'm, overdoing, or I too know whatever. It's always good to speak up, right? I mean, sometimes it's better to be silent. You're going to say rubbish, yeah. but
Yeah.
but as much as possible, if you can't speak up, speak up. Also shows that you're following the conversation. Also shows that you understand. Ask questions. The first 60 days are the best time to ask questions. Nobody's going to blame.
Yeah.
If you are there for like 2 years and you're asking some dumb questions, that's a problem.
Yeah, I know.
But if you are there
Yeah,
for 60
true,
days and you're in meetings and you say, oh,
What do
you
mean by
said,
this?
what do you mean by this, right? It shows that, okay, this person is following. And for most organizations, I would assume there are a lot of acronyms here and there, right? And you're there and you're hearing this acronym and you're like, what's happening? There's no shame in asking, okay, sorry, what does this mean, right? What does this mean? And you grab it. No. So it's always important to speak up. Go to the meetings thinking of, okay, how do I contribute to this conversation? How do I contribute to this meeting? Even if it's just to ask a question, just visibility is very important, right? And your first, like I said, your first 60 days, you really shape that narrative and that perception that people have about you over the years that you've been in the organization. Yeah.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. And you see what he said? He said, ask questions. This is a recurring and common theme when we're having this conversation, because you have to ask questions. It's the time to even ask the dumb questions that you think doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
So please be bold enough to ask questions, whether it's right or wrong. Just speak up. And how would you then strike that balance between, you're a newbie there, you don't want to come off as though you're always like opening your mouth, blah, 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 talking, and or maybe a time to just maybe observe and look around first of all before you speak. How would you then strike that balance as to at what point do I have to now really speak, and at what point do I then like stay silent?
So it's really I mean, there's common sense first of all. But generally, so I think the very first step really is to understand the culture, right, of the organization. There are some cultures that you would then may need to find a way around. For example, there are some organizations whereby when you have that high meetings or high level meetings, just an example, you don't see anybody low level speaking, right? They don't encourage speaking up. They feel like, okay, this is not just come here to just be
listen,
just come and listen. Do you understand? So it's good to understand the culture, and there are some culture that you also need to find a way to break. For example, I don't think that's a good culture when people cannot speak up, right? So when you are in that kind of setting, you may not want to do it immediately, but understand the culture, you see it, and you think about how you can do it differently. So if you're in a space or that kind of setting, that kind of cultural environment whereby people don't speak up, you may want to begin to change that narrative, right? And people will see you. People will see that, okay, there's this person that would typically speak up, right? And like I said, you also have to be wise. Also ask for God's wisdom around it, because sometimes you may also come off as rude when you're always trying to speak up. It may also come off you being trying to claim that you know it all, and it's very easy to also make enemies that way, right?
That's
it's very easy to make enemies that way. But understanding the culture is important. Understanding communication style. How is it better to relate with these people one-on-one, or do you want to have that general conversation in front of like a whole meeting and stuff like that? So understanding the culture is very important. Some organizations do have the very sama, yes ma, yes sir kind of culture. Some organizations first name basis, and you see it in most of the international organizations. I think for local organizations, yes, there's respect.
Local organizations like where?
When I mean local, I don't mean like local, I mean like just local based, right? National organizations. I mean, thankfully the narrative is changing quite fast, but most of private organizations also culturally, I think for Nigeria, for
Mm-hmm.
Africa, we're also very respectful people.
Yeah, in
So
quotes.
in quotes, even though they still go behind your
I
back
know,
and do
like,
rubbish, but we are very respectful people, and we hide behind that respect and all
yeah.
that. So, but again, generally understand the culture. If it's an organization where there's that respect needed, you also have to. I mean, you apply for a job there, you want to work there, so which also goes back to even before getting the job, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before getting the job, ideally, you should have done some research on the organization. You should
Yeah.
have known the kind of values the organization has, right,
Yeah,
before you want to
definitely.
work there. I know that yes, it's crazy out there. You just need a job, and you want to start your career, whatever goes right, which is also not bad because also an experience. You come into the organization, and you see, oh, this culture, these values, I don't align with it. It's also fine to have that
Yeah.
experience for a few years if you need to, and leave the organization. But it is very important that you go to a place whereby it aligns with your values,
Mm-hmm.
align with your principles,
Yeah.
align with your, even what you, an environment that you typically want to be in. Yeah. So understand that culture helps you so that once you get in there, you're not so surprised when you see some kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, generally understand the culture helps you. Then you now know how to balance between um when you need to speak up, when you need to be quiet. Like I said, sometimes you also need that direction from the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
To okay, just this is don't
Chill.
just chill, don't say anything, don't say
Yeah.
anything. And there are some people with very strong personalities that
Mm.
would not keep quiet,
Yeah.
right? Those people are the ones that even need the Holy Spirit more because they need to. You
Yeah.
need to be quiet. There are some people
Mm.
that are typically introverted, they will not even speak up. But I don't encourage not speaking because you have so much in you, you have so much to give out, and you don't speak up. And there are some organizations that generally do not know otherwise, right? They don't know that they need the certain things, and because nobody will speak up, all the
Mm-hmm.
staff or the colleagues or the employees are also very
Yeah.
timid and
Yeah.
quiet, and change never happens, right? Because nobody's speaking up, nobody's trying to challenge the norm, nobody's trying to say, okay, why do we
True.
do it this
Do
way?
it this way.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that as a child of God, or you also have to be the light wherever you find yourself.
Yeah.
And that also
Yeah.
means that sometimes God will put you in a situation or in an environment that is not necessarily the best because you are supposed to come and improve that situation, right? You are supposed to come and now be the light. You are supposed to be the one that will come and speak for people that don't speak.
Yeah.
I used to have this perception when I started my career. I know this is me digressing a bit of also just minding my business, right? Just minding my business.
Just face my own.
Face my own. You may be seeing oppression, but it's like, okay, it's not me, it's not your business. But not knowing that this may also be God putting you in that space because you need to be that person to change things, right? So over time, I learned it very well from a colleague of mine, and she's that kind of person that would always speak up, right? And I find myself now doing it, like trying to speak for people because I feel not everybody has the same grace. Not everybody also has the same, again, personality, character, right?
Yeah.
Some people they would match them, trample on them, they would never ever speak up. And you, on the other hand, would speak up. So why don't you speak up for that people?
Person.
Do you understand? So
yeah, makes sense.
So I think on that note would be that you also allow your true nature to be in the job so that you're also not a fake person at work.
Yeah. Or
So
pretending.
if you're that person that would typically, fight for people, doesn't matter if it's your first 60 days, if you see some kind of oppression, I think you should diplomatically
I know.
find a way to speak up.
But they'll find a way to kick you out.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you also have to be very smart. If you're under probation for 6 months, you need to maintain your job. So you first chill, enter the system first, but at least you already identified those things that you want to already address.
Yeah. So you said a couple of things which literally has aligned with one of our series, one of our episodes. We spoke about decoding the culture before you deliver. So observing your environment to see what's happening there before you then put yourself forward, or before you open your mouth to say one or
Yeah.
two things. And then you also spoke about asking why. So don't just take everything they tell you.
Mm-hmm.
This is how we do it. Oh, we've been doing it for 10 years. We've been doing it. So
Yeah.
why? Like, show me the like
Yeah.
basis. Why,
Some things
why,
are
why
already
you doing
outdated
it?
and
Yeah.
people just do it because
So
others
yeah,
are
and you might be surprised that you would ask why, and they haven't really
thought about why.
thought about it, and that would then like trigger something like, why have we actually been doing this? And then you might as well just be the change that they've like
Mhm.
always needed or wanted. So please, 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 your first 60 days is the time for you to really, really, I think you know the phrase that say first impression matters, or
Yeah.
dress the way you want to be addressed.
Mhm.
Just look at it in that light. What do you want people to see you as? Because it's that first encounter, or that first impression, before you what's the word, before you the word is not there, but you cannot clean it off, that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
it's
You
an
can
impression
It's
that's
hard.
it's
Even if you want to like retract or retrace
it's
what
going to
has
it's going to
happened,
take longer time to
it's going to take
change the
longer.
narrative.
Yeah, to change the narrative,
It's going
or
to take longer time to change the
how
narrative.
people perceive you.
Mhm.
So you have to really, really make sure that those early days, and nobody say you should walk on eggshells, and nobody say you should fake it, or don't be yourself, but be intentional about it. You know why you're there, you know what you want to do, or the value and the impact that you want to bring. So
Mhm.
you have to, don't be laid back or like a daisical, and be intentional about it. So yeah, thank you, it's been
Yeah.
really, really great words of wisdom right there from you. So I think you've actually answered the second one about the most surprising lesson you learned, something no one warned you about.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know if you answered a part of it, but is there
Mhm.
anything you want to add to it?
Um. Um. Let's see. I think. Um. Not necessarily what nobody warned me about,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also very important to, as you get into it, that you first of all get clarity on what you are supposed to do,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Have clarity in terms of expectations. What do you want me to work on? What are my KPIs?
Yeah.
It is very easy to just get busy doing
Mm-hmm.
nothing,
True.
right?
True.
Especially when those first few days where there's information overload, there's so many things happening. You're trying to
Yeah.
read through materials, you're trying to
Mm-hmm.
understand what's happening.
Do mandatory learnings and
In
things.
between that, you also have to be able to have some clarity into, okay, what's
Okay.
your focus, right?
Yeah.
What do you get to do? Else you're going to just be here, and that
That's
will take some
true.
time. And
True.
what being focused helps you to do is, which is also a very key thing that I should also put out there, is you need to identify small wins, within your first 60 days. It is very
Yeah.
crucial that
Yeah. That's
it
it.
doesn't have to be something major, right?
Mm-hmm.
It could just be as easy as, working on improving a template, or
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
working on a PowerPoint slide that,
Yeah.
has just been there for years, right?
Yeah.
It's very important that you identify those small wins
Mm-hmm.
and you try to already work on it, right? People already see you as, okay, solution oriented, and
Yeah.
you're trying to already do something. If you
True.
wait 60 days, is actually not a long time, it's 2 months. So
Mm-hmm.
before you know, it's already here. And within 2 months, you should be able to tell yourself that I've done X,
Done.
Y, Z, right? I'm able to do this.
Yeah.
Already have something that you can show off for, right? Within that
True.
period. It doesn't have to be major. Obviously, you're new to the organization, so
Mm-hmm.
it can be major, but there are things that you can already identify that don't necessarily disrupt a process or disrupt the system. It's not major that say, oh, we have to move from here to point B because
Yeah.
you are here.
My
Do you
grades or something.
understand?
Yeah.
But as just basic stuff that you already need to, that you can already identify, I think that's crucial. And I think if you're not able to really focus on what your tasks are, it's very easy to not even know what to do, right?
True.
Again, these small wins should also be relevant to you, you know, should be relevant to you, to be relevant to the organization as a whole, relevant to the
Yeah.
organization goals. So because you want to identify small wins, then you not say you want to go and cut grass outside. Nobody cares about you
Hey.
cutting grass. Do you get?
Yeah.
Or there's one colleague somewhere that needs some support with something, and you feel like, oh, that colleague that may never be anything relevant, right? This colleague just tries to scotch you points or try to just do something, and they just feel like, oh, you don't have, since you're less busy, yeah, come help me
Come
with
on,
this,
do
and
this.
it may
Yeah.
not be relevant to you, right?
At the
So
end of the day, sir, the colleague will take the credit.
take the credit because you are JJC.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So you have to identify things that are, you know, relevant, that your line manager or supervisor also sees, because
Yeah.
visibility is also
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
They see it and they can acknowledge that, okay, this person has, you know, actually done something. It may not be, like I said, doesn't have to be major, but yeah, this is something that nobody will tell you when you come.
No.
They just give you
True.
a bunch of things to do, man. But you have to
True.
find a way to say, okay, I have this deliverable that I've completed, you know. And also depends on what level you are in your career. You get to a certain level whereby you join the organization, like, I mean, the level I am right now, you join the organization and nobody's telling you what to do.
No.
You are the one that is going to figure out what you need to do, because
Yeah.
they already assume you are a professional. You are here, I've employed you, need to come
Yeah.
and add value. So I wouldn't be the one to tell you what to do, how to manage yourself. You are the one that's going to figure out what you need to do, what the gaps you see, how do you want to address those gaps. So
Yeah.
at that level, you have to be, you know, extra, because you are not just going to sit down and be expecting someone to tell you go left, go right.
Yeah.
They just give you your working tools and expect that you already see the challenges and you begin to, you know, work on it. But yeah, that's what I would add.
Yeah, that's great, because like you said, nobody will tell you, especially those that maybe have gone far in their career space and maybe have started a new job already as a professional. You don't expect everyone to say do this, do this, do this.
Well,
They
yeah.
expect you to hit the ground running
Hit the ground running,
and
come
then
with your
work
experience.
autonomously. So yeah, that's really good. So yeah, I think you spoke about stakeholder mapping and how to really get the right people in your corner, which has also answered the question as how did you figure out who mattered the most, like your stakeholder allies or your mentors. Do you still want to add anything? How did you figure that out?
It's it's not so difficult. Yeah. First of all, you're in an organization, you're new, don't be in your bubble. Don't be that person that wants to just sit down in your office and just be there, right? You need to walk around, you need to move around.
Yeah.
You need to find a way to, you know, go to people's office, introduce yourself. You're new, you're working on XYZ, you know, you're the new person in this, blah blah blah. Just wanted to know if you have like 15 minutes, you know, just to chat. I mean, you're new. Everybody's going to be welcoming at first. So even if people have bad character, that's time they're like, okay.
Yeah.
And people like to talk about themselves, right? And talk about what they are doing. So if you say, okay, I want to learn about what you're doing, I want to hear what you're doing, I want to hear about, you know, your role. Okay, fine. Then, you know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, have a chit chat, understand what they're doing, and then you can decode either, okay, this person, okay, this is a very crucial role, or this person is just a support. No,
that's how you start picking your
decision
makers,
right?
like...
And then of course you join meetings, right? Meetings, you already tell, okay, who has influence in this meeting, who is who is this person that is, you know, when the person speaks, everybody wants to listen. Who is that person that is, you know, in the management level or not management, that, you know, has that voice, you know, really identify them. Who is that person that, okay, I see that this person, you know, wants to make an input and everybody agrees because they feel like this person's input is valid. So you already identify those people. Then if I mean entry level, you also luckily have some other entry level. You can ask questions, right? Okay, who are the who makes, you know, things go around here, you know, and they'll tell you that, oh, this person, this person, this person. So you already have that kind of insight, and you're able to come to these people. Can I have a few minutes just to understand what you're doing? Then also now tell them, okay, how do you what do you need from me? How can I support you? How can I
Good. Yeah. How can
support
we
what you're
work
doing? How can we work
together?
together? What can I do to make your
Yeah.
processes easy or make your, so identify those people, tell them what you bring also to the table, right? Offer your services. So
Yeah.
you know what they're doing now. And when you're in a meeting and they're speaking, you can also relate to what they're doing because you have an understanding of what they are doing. Obviously, it doesn't happen
Yeah.
overnight because
Of
a big
course.
organization with information here and there. Somebody has told you, I work on, data protection right now, and X, Y,
Yeah.
Z. The next day, you probably have forgotten about it because somebody already told you to
True.
start working
Something else.
on so.
Yes. Yeah. True.
But
True.
yeah, at the end of the day, you would also depends on the role. So, for example, I'm a communications advisor, and it is very important I know what everybody's doing, right? So I don't have a niche or have like a particular
Specific people.
I need to know what goes around everywhere because that's the only way I can better communicate. That's the only way, and basically like in the center, right? So there are some. I mean, if you are maybe focused on the technical aspect, you may not necessarily need to know everybody or need to know what other people are doing. But as a comms person, there are some roles, monitor and evaluation, for example. There are some roles that you have to work with everybody. You have to understand what everybody's doing because you bring all the parts together, right? So at that point, you never have a choice. You really have to speak to everybody. You really have to get to know what everybody's doing. Then, when speaking, then you now see those people that have, that kind of influence. Or relevance, and you begin to, build that relationship with them.
Yeah, that's really good because I think one of the things I spoke about previously was knowing the traditional translators, and what that meant, or what I explained there was, you get to an organization where some people have been there long enough to know the ins and outs, and you need those particular people in your corner to now know who the key people are and the stakeholders that you can also then see how to get into their own skin. And that thing you said about working around and getting to meet people is actually key because I remember a job I started recently. I started, and I think those were the things I was doing in my early days. Getting to know people, what they do. Like, I'll just put in meeting invites and like catch up just to know what you're doing really and understand. So it's really, really key. Don't just put yourself in a box or limit yourself or put yourself in a space. I'll always ask myself, what's the worst that can happen? So ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah, new. There's that leverage. People give you, they give you leverage because you are still new. So they still give you some sort of breathing space when you're new.
That's true.
You have to take advantage of it as much as you can.
Yeah. That's good. Thank you. So I'm going to ask you about a mistake. I don't know if you can think of any mistake that you made early on that turned into a valuable lesson. Is there any mistake?
One mistake that I also see as common, which I also definitely did make, is to let me find a better way to put this, right? Is to kind of build some sort of perception about colleagues from another colleague, right? Because your first 60 days also, there are people that try to come and meet you and try to basically capture you or get you to them. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
There are people that try to already make you feel like, oh, this person is not a good person. This person is not. This person is wicked. This person is not good. And because you're also, fresh, at that point in time, if you are not careful, you may begin to build perception about other people. And I think that's a very, very dangerous mistake to make. So as much as you can, don't within your first 60 days try to be as neutral as possible. I would say don't make friends. Right? Try to be their colleagues, right? Put everybody on the same level, get to know people, because if you try to already get close to one person, this is your party, this is your clique, then you don't know how that can be seen from other people's perspective, and that your party or that your clique is already giving you information about certain people I may be very wrong, right? So I generally try to, especially when I join an organization new, I try to don't have, that kind of friendship. So, for example, you
Yeah.
don't see me, oh, with the FX 16 having one person I'm having lunch with, for example, right? Because
Yeah.
it's very easy to have that click, and that may just be the wrong click because you're actually very fresh.
True. True.
Do you
True.
get? So you see me today, maybe I'm having lunch with this person tomorrow. Because I had lunch with you yesterday, don't mean I have lunch with you today, but I don't know you, but we're just colleagues.
Yeah,
I'm
we're just
out of you.
calling.
I'm not
Don't take it
exactly. Don't take
personal.
it personal. So because it's again, as humans, we need company. We are social
Yeah,
animals. So
true.
it's easy for you to just be with somebody and you're already close to that person, right? And I think from experience, that is very risky. That is very, very risky. It's
I
always good
agree.
to keep it as neutral as possible. Don't have biases. Don't have, forget about what people are telling you, right? People come and tell you, oh, you see this person, just nod your head and move on. You're in the organization now, you will know at the end of the day, you feel it, you
True.
will know
When you
if
work
this
with
person
people.
is this, because
Yeah.
sometimes again, people work with people based on who they are, right? Based on, so if somebody treats you a certain way, if somebody um walks with you a certain way, it's probably because of the kind of person that you are,
Yeah.
right? So if somebody comes to you and gives you XYZ about that person, it may just be their perception, maybe how that person relates with them. But if you also don't have that discernment and you're able to really, draw that thin line, it's easy for you to have that bias about that person. So I think that's something I can think of now that I would say is a mistake.
Yeah.
Very early to create squad, very early to have click, very early you already
True.
want some, because you feel like you need a circle, right?
Yeah,
And at that point,
that's true.
there's the most welcoming circle is the one that you already, because that's what it is, the most welcoming circle
Yeah.
that you want to already vibe with. Is already second week, I already have lunch click already. It's good to obviously
Yeah.
mingle with people, but
Yeah.
don't I think that it's good, but it's also can also be a mistake. Get into the organization very well to know really who is who, right? And I think if you want to have clicks, let it be like at a longer period, not your first 60. That's just be you being as neutral as possible, meeting people, just listening to people, but not building opinions about people. Yeah, I think that's a mistake I would say I made at some point, and yeah, it's not something I would do again.
That's
Definitely.
a very good one right
Yeah.
there. I literally can relate to every single thing that you said. Honestly, I'm not going to say much, but I can relate. It's true. It's very, very true. Please know each individual for yourself.
Yeah, no, you did that
Don't
by yourself.
and it's easy to like just for that person, whatever they are feeding to you,
Yeah.
it's easy for you to pick it up
Yes, now
and
because
run with it, and
automatically
unconsciously,
that's
yeah,
what you
we are
roll
moving
with.
with
That's
it.
what you roll with. That's what you roll with. Because these are supposed to be your clique, your guys. Do you understand? And
Yeah,
those. Yeah, it's
that's
it's
true.
it's a
Honestly,
very
please,
tricky one.
please,
Be neutral, man. You have
yeah,
friends outside work. Your colleagues
yeah.
are your colleagues. You
Your
have
colleagues are your
your colleagues are your
colleagues, oh,
colleagues, man.
that's
You have
true.
friends. I mean, it gets to a point whereby colleagues also evolve to like very close friends, but
Yeah.
it can't be in 60 days.
No,
That's not
definitely
real.
not.
That's
Definitely
not real.
not. That's true. Please, if there's anything you've not picked out from this thing, this particular one, you have to pick it honestly because it's very, very common. The reason why I say I can relate, like you said earlier, like it's common.
Yeah, it
It's
is
very
common. It's
common.
very common.
And if you don't realize it, but you start reacting based on what that person has told you about another person,
Yeah.
in a negative way, maybe possibly because maybe when you're speaking with the person you're rude,
Yeah.
or you're talking over the person, you don't even want to hear what the person has to say. That's not good. Please.
Yeah.
No matter what anybody tells you, just let it enter one ear and come out through the other ear.
Have your own experiences.
And then have your own experiences.
Have your own experiences. It's very common because you want a cycle. You want to get into the system. You want to feel among. You want to settle in very fast. So, and sometimes when you realize that your circle or your clique or your friend is not a good person or not a good circle, it is now
hard,
tricky for you to leave that circle. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's tricky for you to come out of it because that time you're having lunch every day now. So by the time you don't want to start having lunch, it's not like then you
Yeah.
are now the bad person because it's like, okay, you're trying to leave the circle. Do you get? So
Mm.
just mind your business as much as possible. Do your work and
Wow. Yeah.
close when you need to close. Go
Yes,
home
Lord.
and meet your other friends.
Can you say I'm bringing out all these things from inside of you? Eh? Oh my goodness. We should have more of
Uh,
this.
yeah.
We should. So, what's the most? I'm just going to jump into the final question.
Yeah.
What's the funniest or most awkward thing that happened in your first 60 days? Can you think of anything funny or awkward? Maybe
Oh,
you
can I?
bumped into a senior stakeholder that you didn't even know was that senior. Or
Uh,
yeah, anything.
Let me see. I can't. Can I think of anyone? I can't think of anyone. Funniest moment. Um, funniest moment would I can't think of anyone. This is probably not a big one, but I think okay, yeah, I think I remember one actually. I think I remember one again. Culture, yeah.
Yeah.
When I started working at the development organization, and this was really like me starting my career, right? Literally after NYC, and I remember there was the country director or like the head of the organization then, and from the gate he came in, and I rushed to him like to collect his bag and like respect won't kill me, like yeah, humble man, Yoruba blood, like this. I was like, what's that? Don't try that. I was not embarrassed. Like in my head, I'm trying to be like, as respectful as I can. Like, let me help you and carry your bag because in the former places that I've kind of like worked, private sector, they Oga they pass, go carry Oga bag. Like it's not yeah, that mentality of like it's good to have that trait, right? I respect that culture that we have as Africans where we are very respectful. But in quotes, man, because
In
quotes,
quotes.
but there's also, growing to see that work is work, right? Work is
Yeah.
work. And that was I would say definitely a culture shock for me. But that
Yeah.
also quickly transitioned me
funny.
into that
Yeah.
space as it is. And you can't even find that right now in me or anything like right? Because it was so, and this was like the highest person, so you feel like, oh, like you can't just see your big boss carrying bag and it's just like, no, don't try. I'm like, okay, sorry Sal, let me mind my business here. So I think that was a funny one, and it was obviously like a lessons learned. So like
After that time, did you see him again?
I mean, of course I saw him, and it's just hello and hi. We just move on with our lives. Even if you are carrying Ghana must go ahead on your own. I mean, it doesn't mean that you also don't be cordial or try to be respectful. There are times where you need to help people, right? So this is not saying you cannot help people. I think the best thing is to ask, should I help you with your luggage? If you want to do that, you're not compelled or obliged or obligated to do that. But if you want to, oh, can I help you with, whatever? And the person says, okay, yeah, sure, thank you. The person says no, just leave the person and go. But don't make it like, oh, because you feel like you're a respectful Nigerian, you want to automatically. Again, this is also very dependent on the organization. The organizations that you have to
and
do
your
it.
location. If you're in Africa, your location. Though, if you're in the abroad or in this side of
don't even
time,
try it.
don't bother.
Don't even try it.
Just say hi. I'm
Just
walk
move
past.
on to your life, man. But yeah, if you're an organization, which I don't think are good organizations, honestly, whereby you have to.
That's like oppression.
It's oppression. It's basically oppression. Then there's also oppression that leads to eye service, right? A lot of people are not trying to do it because so it's not I don't think generally that's a good space that you're in if you are in that kind of setting whereby you are doing more than what you should do because you need to please people, because you need to be respectful in quotes. Respect can be shown in different ways. But yeah, I think that was a funny thing that happened to me when I started my career.
See, something came out.
Yeah, I think that was a very funny one. I remember it very well.
That's really great.
Which is good to understand the culture, really understand the culture.
Good.
Yeah.
It still boils down to asking questions, being very, very observant, and
being
don't
observant.
just be ignorant.
Being observant is good.
Don't be ignorant. Like it. Yeah. So yes, your first 60 days. If you're allowed to continue talking, we'll talk and talk. I
mean, there's so much to do. There's so much to like. You need to communicate as much as possible. Like I said, with your line manager, which is basically your supervisor. You have to find
Yeah.
a way to really have that close relationship. I struggled with that also in my previous role,
Yeah.
where my line manager, also because of his role, he was basically like the head of the project.
Yeah.
So he had a lot of people like reporting.
Mhm.
It was pretty difficult. So we're not really communicating, and that was really bad. Was really a struggle because he was always busy. So like you don't even know what I'm doing, and that affected my work in a way,
Yeah.
because if your direct supervisor doesn't even know what you're doing, then that's not good, right? So you need to find a way to also communicate as much as possible. Have weekly check-ins or one-to-ones to really say, this is what I'm working on, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing. Because at the end of the day, this person is going to appraise you. And if you are working for everybody and your line manager doesn't know what you're doing, then it's very important that it's visible what you're doing, right? So that people can say, okay, yes, this person worked on X, Y, Z. But yeah, I think communication is also very, very as much as possible communicate. You are chatting with colleagues, let them know, I'm currently working on this. Also, shows area of collaboration, right? I'm working on this. I think as little as that can be, it shows people that you're actually working and not just here collecting salary.
And that's how come you get visible too, and people get to see you more. And that's
visibility.
Lots of things have been said, like God.
Visibility is also key.
To learn. Yeah. So what would you tell our corporate besties? We're going to play some teeny mini game.
Okay.
But before we get right into that, we just tell our corporate besties one word of wisdom, sentence, or something swift and sharp.
So I think maybe I probably said this a bit during the conversation. Your first 60 days is when people get to evaluate you, if you are reliable or not, if you are competent or not. And nobody's asking you questions, nobody's telling you that they're evaluating you, but you are being evaluated in your first 60 days, whether you like it or not. And that perception is up to you to shape, right? It's up to you to address. So your first 60 days, like I said, I would say would be what I would see as a giveaway would be shape your 60 days the way you want your 600 days to be, right? Shape your 60 days.
Word. Clock it. According to that. Clock it.
Yeah, honestly, shape your 60 days how you want your 600 days to be, right? Your first 2 months is very crucial. People perceive it, people evaluate you, and there's somebody somewhere that has had this perception of you, and that's what they roll with for the next 1 year, 2 years. They just see you as unreliable.
That's true.
They send you an email, it takes you 3 days to respond to an email. This person is not reliable. Nobody's going to tell you initially because you are still new. So nobody's going to just leave the guy. But the other person is that this person not reliable. Do you understand? This person may never be competent. So it's very important that your first 60 days you work so hard for your next 600 days.
Yeah. That's good. Are you hearing? Your first 60 days with you. Tell me your first 600 days. So please be intentional about your first 60 days. And let's continue to build wisdom that truly works.
Yep.
So we're going to move into our cooperative games.
Okay. I didn't expect that.
So let's see. So it's just don't overthink it.
Okay, I'll try. I overthink. Let's see.
And it's a this or that kind of question.
Okay, good one.
Something you're quite familiar with. So, would you prefer remote or hybrid?
Hybrid.
Oh, really? Yeah. So you like going to the office sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes you just want to step out of your space. Step out of your space, go to the office.
Not so bad, yeah.
Sometimes you just want to be out there. You want to also see people. There's that human interaction sometimes is good. So I would say definitely hybrid. Go to the office once in a while, get to meet people, interact. But
that's good. How about you? Remote or hybrid? Let us know. So the second one, coffee or tea?
Coffee, man.
I know.
Coffee has to be to get your energy, up there. You have to be
awake.
You have to be awake, man. Especially after lunch. That sleep is trying to drag you, man.
Honestly, yeah. Okay. Emails or meetings?
100% emails. If I have a song, maybe I'll recommend it to you. This could have been an email. Please send me that email. I'll respond to you. Don't what else to say in the meeting? 1 hour of we just going round and round and round. Just send that email, we'll address it.
And
emails 100%.
Too. Especially for mail trail and
emails, because we have a meeting of 1 hour to talk about more problems. We don't solve anything in the 1 hour. Then you have like 5 meetings in a day, and you realize that whole day you did not do anything except just join meetings.
I think that's a common thing.
Then you now end up maybe working overtime because you now go home trying to work, or so just send me an email. I'll read it and I'll get to work. That's for you. Sometimes email for me, sometimes meeting, fast 15 minutes quick chat, or but then except it's quick. Except it's quick. Like we just want to say da and we're done. 15 minutes. But emails. Even that can send an email. Okay. I'll send you a message on Teams to clarify if I need to.
All right. So Excel or PowerPoint? I know this one does.
Excel or PowerPoint? I think it depends on the work you're doing.
Yeah. Okay.
But for me, interestingly, because I have a communications background and also like a monitoring evaluation, so basically statistics background, so a bit of both, because Excel obviously for like analysis and stuff like that, and PowerPoint because of visualization and presenting. So I use both on a steady, really.
Okay, that's good. So early mornings or late nights?
Late nights. Yeah.
So you're active.
I'm active in the night. I'm active in the night. Like I'm active. That's my. I mean, this is not a good thing to say, but like I work more in the nights. Yeah. So most times, those are my active periods. Like you catch me in the night. That's where I'm trying out results. So it's late nights.
Okay. So corporate buzzwords or plain talk?
Plain talk, man. We have a lot of corporate jargons that I mean, it can be fun, but I think, tell me what it is, man. Plain talk, straight to the point. Don't try to use big grammar because it's corporate setting and you're trying to go outside the context. Corporate, no. Plain talk. Let's call it what it is.
Okay. Free lunch or shorter meetings?
Free lunch or shorter meetings? Why can't I have both? Free lunch is always good. Shorter meetings is always great.
Also good.
No, but I think I'll take free lunch. Yeah.
So that they'll just send the email instead of having a meeting.
Free lunch, I'll send the email.
Okay. This one, reply all disaster or forgot attachment fail.
So sorry, reply all
disaster or forgot attachment fail.
I think forgot attachment is still better because you can now resend and attach. But reply all it's gone. Till everybody has seen it, man. You just want to say something. So like something happens, maybe you want to say, I want to respond to just one person. Or maybe just like more. Then you now reply all. That one cannot, no matter how you try to undo, it don't go.
It's good.
But if I don't attach, I can say, oh, sorry.
Find attached.
Find attached. This is giving PTSD. I'm supposed to be on leave. Find attached. Find attached. Find attached, man.
It's a sweet pain.
It's a sweet pain, man. Find attached. Oh, kind regards, man.
Good. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. That was like wisdom in your first 60 days, and I really, really love this section that we had because it just brings out a lot of things that you thought that it would be only yourself that have gone through it.
Everybody goes through these things, man. We just have to talk about it.
It's very, very relatable.
The guys starting their career, it's very important that you have these conversations, and you guys, you need to watch this video, share this video, because somebody out there really starting their career and not sure how to go about things. There's an introvert there that doesn't want to ask questions, doesn't want to talk to people. They rather just try to figure out life on their own. So watching this video might just be what the person needs to just okay, I'm maybe on the right path, on the wrong path. So
and learn from other people's experiences, because you don't have to make the mistake to learn. Please Learn
Mhm.
from other people's experience, and believe you me, you're better off that way.
Yeah.
And you're just going to set yourself up for very, very good success
Yep.
and growth. So yeah, thank you, my corporate besties, for sticking with us this long. Thank you to Ola for coming into
we
our
here. We here. We
space.
here. We here. We
I'm
here.
so happy that I had this conversation, honestly. And yeah, we're just so excited. So whether
Mhm.
you're just starting out in your early careers, 5 years or above, please, everything is the same. You have to make sure you put yourself out there. Make sure you're one who has integrity. Make sure you're one who knows how to stand out without selling out, mapping your
Mhm.
stakeholders right, and
Mhm.
decoding the culture even before you speak up, or even being that exclusive talent or being the Daniel of
Mhm.
your workplace. But your first 60 days is very, very important. And I'm just going to go with what Ola said. Your 60 days determines your 600, you know, your 600 days. So please take it seriously. And put in the comment section, right? One of these questions that we've asked, is there a particular mistake? What's that
Mhm.
funny thing that you did in your early careers or your first 60 days that it feels very awkward till today?
Yeah.
Or what's that one advice you also want to give someone out there
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
maybe would come across this video and just pick your comment?
Yeah.
Please put it in the comment section. And if you want to see Ola again, please let us know. We're going to bring him back sometime, only God knows when, but
Always available. Always available.
thank you for coming to our space. We really
Yeah,
appreciate.
that's good.
And we're
Happy to
just
be
going to
here.
end with this. I'm going to say, let's continue to build wisdom that works, but we have to say it together.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So thank you, my corporate besties, for sticking with us. Once
Mhm.
again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Click on your notification button. So for every time we upload a video, you'll be the first to get notified. And let's continue to build wisdom
That
that works.
works.